Going on everybody, tonight I have episode 2 of the Forza Horizon drifting guide for you. It's been a while since I uploaded the first episode, but I still wanted to get this one out because I got a lot of requests for it. People wanted me to upload a second episode, and so here it is. If you haven't watched episode 1, you should definitely go watch it, because the car I'm using right here is the one we made in episode 1. So I'll put a link in the description so you can easily click on it, and yeah, just watch the episode and make the exact same car as me if you're like a beginner drifter, because it will probably help you a lot if you have the same car as me. So yeah, what we're going to start off with is we're going to my profile and options and then to controls. I'm just showing you the controller layout I'm using. It's basically the standard layout. I'm using a controller for this episode. I could have used my wheel, but I kinda didn't want to because I know more people are using a controller than a wheel on this game, I think. So yeah, that's why I'm using a controller. Yeah, just basically leave everything standard, that's it. Let's move on to the difficulty. There's an important thing to remember on here. You don't want to put it on any of these. Like, you don't want to put it on easy, don't want to put it on medium, hard or pro. Where you want to put it on is expert, because that's the only game difficulty which will turn off the stability manager. There's no option in this list which says there's a stability manager, but if you put it on expert it will turn it off. If you put it on any of these other ones, stability manager will turn on and you won't be able to drift properly. So yeah, put it on expert at first, and then set your steering to normal, and then your shifting, it's really up to you. I'm using manual with clutch, but you can use manual, it's really up to you. And then just leave the other ones as is. So yeah, I'm just gonna show on a map where I'm doing this drifting guide. I'm at Eagle Ridge. I'm on this cross right here, right there, that's my arrow. Okay, so I'm right there, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do some donuts without trying to spin out or straighten out. So what we do is we put a car in first gear and we try to do some donuts around this cross like this. So what you have to try to do is you need to have enough power to keep your drift going, but you don't want to have too much power. So you don't, if you put too much power into the car, you will just spin out. And you need to counter steer, of course, because otherwise you will just spin out straight away. Yeah, just keep practicing this. You don't want this to happen, like you don't want to straighten out like this. That's what's gonna happen when you don't use enough power. You don't want this to happen either. This is what happens when you use too much power and not enough counter steer. You will just spin out like this. So yeah, you basically just want to keep doing donuts like that till you get it all good. And then we're gonna move on to our first turn. We're gonna do this left-hander, the first one right here. We're gonna put our car into third gear for that turn. Not yet, but once we get to the turn we'll put it into the third gear. But what we do in the initiation, we will hit the clutch first if you're using clutch, and then hit the handbrake, and then release the clutch again once you leave the handbrake. You don't want to hit the handbrake first because your car will just stall. Your wheels will block up and your engine will just die. So you want to hit the clutch first, then the handbrake. Okay, I'll show you how this will work. Second gear, third gear, hit the clutch, handbrake, and then initiate. That's pretty simple actually. Once you're done the initiation, you obviously have to keep enough power through the corner, and you will need to have enough counter steer as well. You don't want to have too much counter steer because that will straighten you out again. I will show you what happens when you put too much counter steer in. You will straighten out like this. That will happen, or something like that. I cannot really explain this. It's really hard to drift bad on this game because it's pretty easy on this game actually. It's a lot easier to drift on this game than on Forza Motorsport 4. On Forza Motorsport 4 I'm not actually really good on the controller, but on this game it's pretty easy. So yeah, And I'm also going to show you what happens when you don't use enough counter steer. You will spin out obviously, and I will show you how that happens. You initiate, and if you don't counter steer enough, this will happen. So yeah, what you basically want to do, you want to have enough power through the corner, but you also want to have enough counter steer so you don't spin out, but you don't want to have too much, so you don't want to straighten out. The next thing we're gonna do is a little transition. So after you've done the first corner, after you got this done, like after you got this perfectly good, we're gonna do this, a little transition like this. What you're gonna do for that is you're gonna basically keep on the power through the turn, like through the transition, and you basically wanna turn into the next turn and then counter steer as quick as you can to the opposite direction. Like this, and then you want to turn into the next corner and counter steer again, and then keep the same thing going for the turn, like just keep enough power and keep enough counter steer so you won't spin out. I really can learn you how to use that. I mean, it's basically just practice. It's really hard to learn people how to drift on this game. It's more practice than something else. So yeah, once you've done that, yeah, we're just gonna try to do this little section right here. So we're gonna start off here, third, and we hit the clutch, handbrake, initiate, and then we keep counter steering, and then throw it into the next turn. And you do that over and over again. Actually, just keep the power on, make sure your wheels keep spinning. If your wheels stop spinning, you will straighten out, of course. Sometimes you might want to use some handbrake to like make a little correction or something if you like messed up or something. But you will like feel when you have to do that. Yeah, just try to get this little section done. If you can get that done, then you're doing alright. I mean, it's nothing really hard to do, but it's for a beginner drifter. It's like a step forward. So let's do that again. Oh, that's not really a good entry. See, sometimes I'm hitting the handbrake as well. Like I'm just tapping it sometimes just to make that slight correction to get my drift right. On Horizon, it's very important to keep on using power, because the cars are a lot more grippier on this game. On Forza 4 you don't want to use as much power. Well, you want to use as much power, but you have to be a lot more on the throttle on this game. That's basically it. And yeah, keeping your drift on this game is a lot easier on Forza Motorsport than on Forza Motorsport 4 as well. So yeah, if you want to choose like a game you want to start on drifting, like I would choose Horizon. If you are a beginner, then I mean, if you already know how to drift on Horizon, you should definitely go to Forza 4 because it's better than Forza Horizon. But Forza Horizon is really cool because you have an open world and everything like that. But yeah, this was basically my little drift guide, episode 2. In the next episode I'm just gonna teach you like tandems and all that stuff. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.